Hey, what's up, everybody? Solomon here. I hope you guys are all having a great Thursday. If you see any scam ads on this video, please don't participate in those. We're going to be going over a couple of different things today. A little bit about Ripple's legal team. I'm more concerned about Ripple's legal team than I am about Brad Garlinghouse's and Chris Larson's. We're also going to talk about the military and some certain initiatives going on with blockchain and weapon systems, and who some of these digital asset and crypto projects tie in with. We're going to be kind of running the gambit here. But first and foremost, I wanted to talk about this. We're obviously very much so into this bull market at this point in time, which won't last forever. This is still a speculative run. But, I'm getting asked, even at work by certain people, and they're stating that they went online, they went onto Coinbase, and they bought, they bought certain digital assets, but didn't want to get into other ones because they thought that they were cheap. And, XRP is cheap right now. XRP, if you're in the know and if you've been around this space for long enough, 29 cents to me is certainly cheap for XRP. And I believe that XRP, if the SEC deems XRP a currency, this may have been the best time ever to buy XRP. Regardless, I know that we were down at like 11 cents back in March, but you get what I'm saying. But I wanted to touch base on this just real quick before I get into everything else. You have quite a bit of factors that you need to get into when you say something is AKA cheap. Something that has, Ethereum has a $134 billion market cap. Now, I understand it's the crypto space. We don't like talking market cap, but it is a measurement to actually use to determine if something's cheap or expensive. It's one tool that you can use, especially if you're brand new to this space. But there's multiple factors that you need to take into account here. Obviously, circulating supply, max supply. You have to look at the market that this project is trying to disrupt. What percentage of that market do you think realistically can be disrupted? Does the project that you want to invest in, does it solve a current problem, or is it a solution in search of a problem? Saying something that's 30 cents is cheap, but you don't even take into account circulating supply. Obviously, we know that the max supply of XRP is 100 billion. We know that there's about half of that escrowed. We know that around half of that is in circulation. We know Bitcoin 21 million max. We know Ethereum. I don't even think Ethereum has said the max supply. So 114 million. Polkadot 899 million circulating. So that's how you kind of try to gauge some of this stuff for how these digital assets are circulating, what their max supply is, what their token rollout and their scheme is to roll out all the coins onto the market. You have to look at the legacy system that these projects can either add to or potentially disrupt and take market share away from. There's a whole gambit of things that you need to take into account. So if you're new to this space, don't just look at something that's 20 cents and be like, oh, that's cheap. You have to have some sort of a rubric for understanding why that price is 20 cents. And it being cheap or not has quite a bit of factors involved in it. So, something being 20 cents doesn't necessarily mean it's cheap. Cardano, if I'm looking end game here, I would say 30 cents is cheap, but it just pumped massively. You know what I mean? And it has the $9 billion market cap. Something with $9 billion in market cap is not cheap if you're a brand new investor. You need to know that you're looking at that. Now, for long-term utility and stuff like that, of course, that's a drop in the pan. But I think you guys that have been here a little bit longer understand what I'm trying to say. For new people that are just coming into this space, that price that you see over there means absolutely nothing if you don't know what you're looking at. So, and do your due diligence a little bit. Look into what the circulating supply is. I talked about all of that to understand why that price is what it is, what it could potentially be, and try to hedge your bets a little bit to the best of your ability. Moving forward, though, I did see this Coinbase creates open door policy for new listings, regardless of your thought process on Coinbase. It does have one of the easiest user interfaces to use if you're in the digital asset space. We know that it's terrible during bull markets, bear markets, whatever. It goes down all the time. A lot of exchanges go down all the time, but Coinbase is notorious for it. I would like to see a lot more coins on Coinbase because that adds liquidity to this digital asset ecosystem. And I think that you and I can both agree, we all want to see as much liquidity for the projects that we support out there. And Coinbase certainly has, the most new users join Coinbase. It's the easiest to deal with whenever they look up how to buy crypto. I'm sure that's probably the top search result. So I want to see certain things on Coinbase. I certainly want to see things like Hashgraph. I want to see Polkadot on Coinbase. I want to see a slew of different things. So essentially, this is like this tracking mechanism for these blockchain projects. If they are trying to adhere to regulations, they can track the status of their submittal to being listed onto Coinbase. So pay attention to that. We may be seeing, hopefully, we've heard forever that we will be seeing more coins, and they slowly roll things out. So interestingly enough, the SEC sued Ripple, but Coinbase listed XRP, and we know there's an ongoing lawsuit for that as well. All right. Moving forward here, I saw this just this morning when I was looking. This is Simba Chain receives $1.5 million SBIR Phase 2 contract from the U.S. Office of Naval Research. Simba Chain to develop blockchain-based solution to enable supply chain demand sensing for critical military weaponry parts. So looking into Simba Chain here, this is their blockchain platform, okay? And simple way to develop blockchain apps, API, blockchain, et cetera, right? So currently supported blockchains through Simba Chain. And I don't believe Simba Chain has their own coin. I think that they utilize other projects. Ethereum, we've got Stellar, XLM, RSK. I think there's two coins on the RSK network. Ava, so that's Avalanche, I believe. Binance, Hyperledger Burrow, Hyperledger Fabric. But what I'm interested in also is coming soon coins. And I know we talk about Quant. I've talked about Quant intermittently on this channel. I've held Quant since I think around $2, something like that. Not financial advice. If you want to buy Quant, buy Quant. If you don't. Overledger is obviously through Quant. Corda, we know that Corda Settler, XRP is one of the assets, and they're going to be planning on using multiple digital assets, I'm sure. DM, which is, I believe, Libra's rebrand. Hedera Hashgraph, which is interesting because I posted, and you may or may not know, Hedera Hashgraph was very much so researched into by the military and Department of Defense and SecNav, so the Secretary of the Navy, all sorts of different individuals in the military for updating smart grids on Hashgraph and Cardano. So for those of you that are fans of Quant, Hedera Hashgraph, and Cardano, you've got this Simba blockchain that is very much so also tied into the military. So let me see here. Hold on one second. I think if you go to their main page, it shows their partners. And they've got some heavy partners. I hope I can find this. Yeah, here we go. U.S. Department of Energy. SAP, which we know is huge. National Institute of Standards and Technology is NIST, I believe. Ernst & Young is gigantic. Notre Dame. Department of Defense. Nav War, Consensus is big. The Navy, Microsoft. So Boeing is also a governing member of Hedera Hashgraph's board. So yeah, AF Works I've heard of. They're big too. DARPA is big. So yeah, I mean, it's pretty easy to see like where all of this goes. I mean, I forget who asked. I think it was XRP Trucker on Twitter. I have family members asking me about digital assets. What is the best way for me to introduce family members into digital assets, blockchain, cryptocurrency? My opinion of that would literally be something as simple as this. Just be like, hey, mom, dad, brother, sister, cousin, whatever. Just go to Google, click on that little news tab, and type in something like this. Type in blockchain and then type in gov. On the news tab here, hold on. All right. Now we've got this. This comes up. U.S. Navy commissions $1.5 million blockchain system. Icon Loop secures government backing to test blockchain driver's license project. U.S. government is targeting cryptocurrency to expand. OCC is building Crypto America. You can do the same thing with these targeted. I mean, this is not a targeted search. This is not how like you do like deep dives and stuff, but it's a part of it. T Systems, which is T-Mobile. We talked about that yesterday. PayPal's crypto partner, Paxos, raised $142 million. Keep it extremely simple and high level for people that are not in this market. Don't be like, you need to look into Ripple. It's partnered with the IMF and read this 30-page document. It's in here. It's all in here. Blockchain partner, partnerships. Look it up on news. Blockchain Gov news. whatever. You know, and you could do the same thing with crypto. You could do the same thing with other things. But GDP, what is blockchain's GDP in 2025, et cetera, or, you know, et cetera, et cetera. So, yeah, I mean, there's very easy ways to get people into this. And I think to keep it high level and just let them find the integration themselves by very simple targeted searches. I think that's the way to go about getting people into this market, this ecosystem, because once they get that bug, we've all gotten it. We know where this goes. They're certainly going to get it as well. Some people take longer than others, but it's just a matter of time. And the majority of people, I still believe that we're early because we're in a speculative bull run, not a utility bull run. You have little inklings of utility-based news, or this is going to be developed upon that, and you see price tend to react now because we're in an actual bull market. But when that utility bull run actually hits, you know, you're going to be seeing people coming out of the woodwork trying to be jumping into this space. And I don't know if this bull run's that utility bull run. I don't think so. But we're going to have multiple bull runs in the future too. I mean, this market is young. It's nascent. We're not even a teenager yet. We just learned how to walk. And once we get regulations, you know, we can start trying to figure out how to run a little bit quicker. So, all right, we've got Grayscale saying it's going to dissolve XRP's trust. We know that they removed XRP from the large cap fund recently. So that's fine. That's well, you know, I still hold my XRP. Like I said, I believe if XRP is deemed a currency by the SEC, which I personally believe XRP is not a security, but I am not, I'm not working for the SEC right now. I think that this may be the best time ever to have gotten into XRP. Anything below 30 cents, anything even below 35, 40 cents could be gigantic, because I think that utility usurps speculation eventually. And I believe that XRP does have that utility to usurp the two coins that are sitting above it right now. And I also believe Ethereum has utility, but we know how much is built on top of it. Let's see where it goes. So this came out yesterday. I did more of a not a deep dive, but I kind of doxed some of these people from these legal teams. And I'll, you know, just say a couple things here. I'm not overly concerned about Brad Garlinghouse and Chris Larson's lawyers. I am looking at Ripple Labs' lawyers. Andrew Serezny, extremely big wig at the SEC, previously at the SEC. And if you want to look up him, and if you want to look up Mary Jo White, she was a sitting chair appointed by Obama at the SEC for like 3 or 4 years. So, I mean, and we've got also antitrust, some heavyweights in the antitrust space as well that are on Ripple's team. I will say this: 2 of the people that are on the SEC's team are, I believe, senior litigators, and the one is like a regional director in the Atlanta area. I think Richard Best is that gentleman. So we'll see where this goes. You can see just how crazy these legal teams are for Brad, for Chris, and for Ripple Labs. If you want to, you know, dive a little bit deeper into those, feel free. Moving forward, this is Flare Community at Community Flare on Twitter. Got another video dropping for y'all soon. Confused about Flare and the Flare Finance airdrop? Don't worry, I got your back. I need to subscribe to him because I actually just watched on my other YouTube account a couple of these videos over the past 2 days, and this is really fantastic work. I very much so recommend going to Flare Community on YouTube, taking a look, understanding some of these things. I mean, he goes over passive income. He goes over quite a bit about Flare networks. So moving on. Oh, wait. Okay. So the IMF posted today, are digital currencies real money? This is a poll. As of right now, we have 53,847 votes. And yes or no, we got 79.8% of those 53,847 votes saying yes, digital currencies are real money. So, and I think that we all believe that as well. You guys know that I'm a fan of Alliance Block. I've posted it on Patreon. I've talked about it on Twitter a couple of times. They have liquidity mining. I have, this is not financial advice. I have Front as well. They do a liquidity mining program through Front. I still need to hop into that. It's 300% APY. And you essentially have to have an equivalent amount of Front, Alliance Block, and wrapped Ethereum. And, you know, you can sit there and go on this network. I think it's a month lock period. But Ocean is gigantic. And Ocean is one of these projects, again, not financial advice, I've been trying to look for somewhat of a good entry point into. But I believe as far as data transmission and all of that is concerned, I think that Ocean is going to be very big. They've got some very heavyweight partners. But now Ocean and Alliance Block announced this liquidity mining program as well. Alliance Block, if you aren't aware, we got into on Patreon at 6 cents. It's as of today, it was sitting around 50 cents. I'm curious to see where it's at right now. Yeah, so up 27%, 48 cents today. It's been killing it. Not to say that it's going to completely go up in a straight line forever, or if there's things that are concerning, we won't try to get out of it. But, as of right now, I just see more adoption. All right, this is from Brian Brooks. This is banking and finance issues the new administration should address. He posted this on Twitter. The one thing I wanted to go over here is states have sued to block innovative companies from becoming national banks because they somehow think 50 states should regulate these companies individually instead of having one national regulator. This is in the United States, obviously. Imagine how much that impedes innovation. But he talks about that. This impedes innovation and undermines 200 years of jurisprudence supporting the supremacy of federal law. It also has resulted in price controls and supply constraints, restricting financial access for the very people the states purport to protect. The OCC has worked to restore regulatory certainty that bank loan terms valid when made valid after sale to investors. And we've seen that the OCC is essentially being pushing very hard for fintechs, non-depository institutions to be operating with federal bank charters. We just saw the first one that was granted yesterday, the actual first national fintech bank. We talked about that yesterday. If you want to watch that video, feel free to check it out. But, Brian Brooks, I think, has done a great job. He's talking about cryptocurrency and decentralized finance presenting important benefits, like increasing financial access, so banking the unbanked, providing individuals greater control over the financial lives. Obviously, this deals in liquidity, too. I mean, you're going to get to the point with digital assets. I talk about it multiple times. You're going to be able to own fractionalized portions of things. If you're an avid art fanatic, and let's say you like Salvador Dali, and you want to buy a fraction of his painting, like $10 worth of a Dali painting, and you're at the grocery store, and your bank account, your checking account, or whatever, everything's going to be tied in together. Let's say you don't have enough cash, you didn't get paid yet, and you honestly are living paycheck to paycheck, but you do have certain little investments. You're going to be able to transfer those investments in the snap of a finger out of that fractionalized portion of a painting and into money in your account that the grocery store will accept to buy bread, to buy milk, to buy whatever. And they certainly won't have $35 fees like gas fees on Ethereum whenever all this shakes out. I believe in Ethereum. I believe in a lot of tokens that I have to buy with gas fees on Ethereum. But that is not the end game for this, ladies and gentlemen. The end game is utility. The end game is ease of use, where people believe it's just magic that they can do all this, because that is essentially how technology takes over, right? The internet is magic. It's literally magic for us to be able to do the things that we're able to do. Blockchain is the same thing, but it's so new, and the learning barrier is so big for a lot of people, but they just would rather not waste their time rather than make a potentially life-changing and wealth-generational changing move in their lives. But we are going to get there, trust me. And it's going to be sooner rather than later. And this is the way that all this shakes out. Okay, providing individuals greater control over their financial lives and accelerating global payments and remittances. If the United States focuses only on the risks and not the benefits, we will fall behind as the global financial system is rewired. And it is being rewired, ladies and gentlemen. If you think that every country in the world loves that the United States dollar, our fiat, is the most dominant currency in the world, I think that you're probably wrong. They don't. We know that the BRICS nations have been trying to move away from the US-based fiat system for a while, and they're moving away from SWIFT. Thankfully, everything needs to move away from SWIFT. Ravi Shankar Prasad pushes blockchain for improving government schools. This is in India. He is the telecom and IT minister. So this is, we're starting to slowly see the rhetoric in India too. We know historically that India has been a little bit weary about blockchain and certainly digital assets. But we'll see where this goes. We all know where this shakes out in the end game. Everybody uses crypto. Everybody uses digital assets. And FinCEN reopens comment period on crypto AML, which is anti-money laundering rules. So if you're not aware, I think it initially ended on January 4th. The rule will require banks and fintechs to report certain types of customer information to FinCEN on any transaction of cryptocurrency worth over $10,000. So this affects you on exchanges as well, made on their platforms involving an unhosted wallet. The reporting would have The reporting would have to be done within 15 days according to the proposed rule. Okay, originally closed January 4th, but 7,500 comments. FinCEN decided Thursday to extend the comment period by 15 days for the reporting requirement of transactions over 10K and by 45 days for the record keeping requirements of transactions over $3,000. So we'll see what shakes out with this. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope this video was a little bit shorter because I know my last one was 22 minutes long and most of you don't want to watch a 22-minute video. If you do, fantastic. I appreciate it. So I will talk to you later. I hope you guys all have a fantastic morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you happen to be in the world. And if there is news to present tomorrow, I will certainly do so. If you want to check out Patreon, the link will be down in the thread. And yeah, thank you very much. I will talk to you later.